What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning back into the channel. Long time no see. Episode 129 of Movie Reviews. We watch these shitty films so you don't have to. I'm here with my beautiful wife. Say hi, boo.
Hi, everyone. This is Akdi, and I'm from Turkey. And today we are reviewing Together.
Yes, this is a 2025 supernatural body horror type film that's about relationships, love, and closeness. And it stars real-life couple Dave Franco and Alison Brie. I didn't even know they were a couple. Did you?
I didn't know until I listened to Dave Franco's interview about this movie.
He was doing promo, and he was like, yo, my girlfriend's in it, bro.
Yeah. It was on I forgot. Call Her My Daddy?
Wow, you listen to that podcast all the time and you forgot the name?
Call Her Daddy.
Wow, brain just fried. Brain fried.
It is.
That's crazy. But my brain will be fried too after watching this booty juice movie. I'm not going to lie. Listen, we haven't done a movie review in a while. We usually go real in depth with these films, but we've been so busy. Like, I've been busy with work. She's been busy with work. It's been crazy. But we've been watching a lot of films, so I thought it would be good to just like speed run through some of the joints that we've just been watching in our off time. And we watched this a few weeks ago. I don't remember how we came across it. I think I just clicked on it on movies2watch.tv or whatever. And I so regret that decision. I so regret that. What do you think about this film now?
I listened to his interview before I watched the movie, so I was kind of curious about it. Yeah, definitely not the best horror movie of the year. It was kind of cliche, but I didn't hate it that much. I like jump scares. It had a lot of jump scares, but it's like I felt like it was a bit overrated.
Yeah. Definitely overrated. Far from the best horror film of the year. This is possibly like the second horror film that we've watched for 2025, Sinners being the first one. And even though I thought Sinners was just like, okay, it was fun, Sinners is much better than this.
Yeah.
But we should probably check out some other horror films because I'm sure there's some heat out there, some good films, but this ain't it.
I like the topic of being so close to someone that you lose yourself in them, and it usually happens in relationships. And, there were times I questioned that in our relationship, am I still having my own personality and stuff like that? But this is how you would imagine a theme like this would be portrayed in a classical Hollywood horror movie. And it just didn't give that much surprises for me. I
disagree. I feel like this film is very untraditional and unconventional in its storytelling because the film doesn't have a ending where they defeat the bad guys or they overcome their challenges. It's sort of like the bad guys win. It's kind of postmodern in a sense. And also the script feels very ChatGPT. And a lot of the dialogue feels promptish. Like somebody literally made this script with AI. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, I could see definitely I think Dave Franco wrote this. No, I'm not sure though.
I think it's written and directed by this guy named Michael Shanks, who is an Australian director, but maybe Dave Franco had something to do with it. But here on Wikipedia it says Michael Shanks, the director, did the heavy lifting. If there's anything, any heavy lifting.
I mean, maybe the ending was not traditional Hollywood, but I feel like the idea oh, let's make a movie about being so close to your partner that you can't even be apart. And the horror factor is that their bodies are stick together. I feel like that's so, you can see that happening.
I guess, man. It's just body horror films I usually really like because they do, disgust you. But some of my favorite films are body horror films like Martyrs and stuff like that. But it has a more profound meaning and deeper themes and better acting and better writing, just all around.
Yeah. I do have to say, I generally liked Dave Franco. I think I saw him in this magician movie. And I liked him there. In this movie, his acting was really bad.
I just think all around, the acting in this thing was just mediocre. I feel like Alison Brie is a better actress than Dave Franco is an actor.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an impressive performance.
Yeah. She's not that much of a good actor so that she could carry it on her shoulders.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's still good, I think, but Dave was just not giving it.
Listen, my wife here made a PowerPoint slide so y'all can see this film, what we saw. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to waste an hour and a half of your life watching this film, just check it out here. So here we go. We're going to run through the story real quick. So basically, the movie opens up with, this guy named Tim. And Tim is a part of a band. And he hangs out with a bunch of cool millennial guys. And they're, I guess, in New York or something like that. And Tim is sort of conflicted about whether to go on tour with the band or go out into the woods with his girlfriend, who's played by Alison Brie, and she's the character. What was the character's name? Millie. Yeah, sorry, Millie. Right, and Millie ends up proposing to Tim in front of all of their young hipster, cool, older millennial friends at this party, and Tim doesn't know what to say. He sort of freezes up, yeah, of course, and she tries to play it off it was just a joke. But it was definitely an embarrassing and uncomfortable scene at the beginning. What did you think of the opening of the movie?
Yeah, and by the way, she proposes, as you see in this photo, without a ring.
Yeah.
She's just will you marry me with an open, empty hand? That was super weird.
It's cringe.
And I guess the point of that introduction scene was to make us see they're kind of unhappy in their relationship. They're sort of these two people that are in a relationship. And it feels like they're in a relationship because they've been together for so long.
Yeah.
And they're just now surviving it. And everyone around them kind of thinks that they should break up. But they don't want to break up because they're no, but I love him and I love her. And it's they're just too afraid to be without each other.
Listen, I'm going to preface what I'm about to say with a lot of love and care. Alison Brie is a beautiful woman. She's gorgeous. She's a step below Anne Hathaway. But she looks too old to be playing this role. I'm sorry. So when the movie cut on and I saw her like this, I was I don't know if I should even believe this. I don't know if I can buy this film. You know what I'm saying? The same way I'm fading in and out on the camera is the same way my mind was with this movie. I don't know whether I'm in it or out of it. You get what I'm saying? I know you disagreed with me the entire time when we were watching this because I was I'm just not buying that man and that woman are together. You feel me?
Yeah, I didn't think she was too old. I thought she was okay, and I like Alison Brie. So
in real life, she is older than him. You know what I mean? I think they're only about 2 years apart or something like that, right? They're both late, 30s or early 40s or something like that. So, and that's fine. I'm not judging their relationship. It's just on screen, it wasn't believable. And also the lifestyle that they lead, because he seems like a fail-ennial. You know what I mean? Still trying to be in a band. You know what I mean? He looks broke. He smells bad. She looks she has a good job in HR somewhere. Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah.
It just looks shitty.
It does look like they want different things in life. And Millie is more mature and Tim is kind of oh, should I discover something else or should I get married and start this married life?
Yeah.
But, I mean, what do you mean? In real life, there are a couple, so obviously it's realistic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fail-ennial and I'm with a beautiful, sexy, smart woman. You get me? So I definitely can relate to the film. It's just maybe you just don't like seeing your own life on screen that much. You know what I mean? It's kind of uncomfortable when you see oh, shit, I'm that loser guy. Fuck.
Wow. I mean, the way, just going back to the interview, the way Dave was talking about it, I think he really likes working with his wife because, he's just I'm so comfortable. Because imagine when you're shooting a movie, you're with that person all the time, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. But if you're with your partner, then you can say whatever you want to her.
Then they should film a movie about being swingers to test their relationship.
Wow.
Do you think they should make more films together?
I don't know if I'm in love with their energy because honestly, right after I learned they were together, I watched this movie the next day and I was expecting a very good chemistry. Yeah. And I didn't see it that much. Yeah. Not to say they're not.
Because from the very beginning, it's you're not shipping them at all.
Yeah,
there's nothing in there where you see the love.
Ship. Exactly. Yeah. And no offense to their real relationship, I'm sure they get along really well.
Probably.
But just on the screen, I don't think it reflected as much.
No, it was really cringe. But we're still waiting for that Zendaya and Tom Holland joint together. You get me?
They already did one.
What? Doom?
Spider-Man or something.
Oh yeah, but now that they're officially a couple, because I think there was a few films in between. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we need that Timothée Chalamet and whatever Kardashian he's dating.
Kylie.
Yeah, whatever. We need them.
We don't need
film.
Kylie acting.
We just need couples in relationships, you know what I mean, on screen together, just so we can, like, you know, root for them, I guess. But let's go and continue. So, like, yeah, I think in this scene, there was like a little bit of foreshadowing that something creepy is going to happen, because I believe Tim is having a dream and he sees like this demon under the bed. I didn't like the jump scares in this film. I don't like jump scares, bruh. I don't like jump scares in horror movies. I hate it. I really hate that. Yeah. That's me, though. What do you think?
I love jump scares, honestly. Like, I don't want them to happen, but they happen, and I love the little bit of rush I get from the jump scares. And I think this movie did that good. Like, there were a couple of jump scares that actually, like, made me very, like, anxious.
I guess.
And I like that.
I feel like they're just very cheap. Plus, I have a heart condition. You know, I'm an older black man. You know what I mean? So my blood pressure through the roof. I can't be on edge every time I watch a horror movie. You feel me?
Stop that.
That shit make me feel like the police right behind me. Bro.
No.
But I like a good horror movie where it's like great acting, great dialogue, and then somebody gets like their arm sewed off right in front of them. That's like, to me, scary. You know
That's like the opposite of what I like. Though we did some great movies with gore, and I appreciate them, and I understand like the importance of the gore there, maybe.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think it's unnecessary. I like it when it's necessary and it's proving the point.
I got you. This one felt like jump scares are unnecessary, just making my heart jump for no reason, but going on ahead. So anyway, Tim decides, listen, I'm going to make a compromise. He talks to Millie and he's like, I'm going to go be with the band, but I'll spend a few days with you at the cabin in the woods, of course, because nothing bad ever happens when you go off in the woods.
They buy the house.
Oh, they buy a house. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We watched this weeks ago. Anyway, they go off into a cabin in the woods. They're kind of still fighting, but Millie is trying to like reconnect with Tim, and Tim is still off in like dreamland that he's going to be, you know, a rock star.
It's one of the most like passive aggressive relationships that you can see. It's like they're always like, you know, if you don't like me, we can split up. Yeah. But then they're like, no, that's not it. And I like you. It's just my music. Like it's just very passive aggressive. Yeah.
There was another film that we watched of a couple going through issues earlier this year, The Front Room with Brandy, and you know, that film I feel like is much better as a film. And when we were watching like movie reviews of The Front Room, people were trashing that film. But then when we watched reviews of Together, they were like praising this film. And I feel like it's totally opposite. Like The Front Room is actually pretty decent, you know what I mean, as a film, and it has some deep themes. This one just feels like a bit cliche. Okay, we go off cabin in the woods. Oh, we're having issues in our marriage. Oh, freaky water and stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, I think, go ahead.
I mean, I think there's a little bit of like celebrity, you know, expectations because these two are like kind of millennial famous, I guess. A lot of people saw them in, you know, things that they liked. Yeah. So yeah, and plus they're a real life couple. That's why I think like a lot of people are, you know, praising this movie, not necessarily because of the movie.
Man, you know what I'm gonna say. It's racism. It's racism, bruh. White people just like, oh yeah, white couple on screen. I'm sorry, I just gotta say it. I'm gonna say it. People are shipping it. They're like, oh, the great white hope has returned. The Dave Franco, the Franco family will save white Hollywood. I'm sorry, let me stop being ridiculous.
I like James Franco better than Dave Franco.
I like James Franco because I grew up watching Freaks and Geeks. I don't know if you ever heard of that show.
I heard about it, but never watched it.
Wow, that's such a classic. And I didn't realize how many famous people came from it until I got older, and I'm like, oh shit, they were on Freaks and Geeks. You know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, I forgot what happened in this scene. Tell us what happened here.
So, you know, they're basically kind of renovating the house, still moving in, and Tim like smells something, goes up to the lamp and takes out like these bunch of rats that are connected together on the butt. Yeah. And it's very gross. And then like he throws it away, and yeah, it's like very creepy, kind of foreshadowing.
A little bit, yeah, foreshadowing, because the rats, you know, I forgot what it is, what they say, but rats, that does happen to them. Their tails get tangled up whenever they like are all eating something or trying to fight over food or something like that. I don't know what it is. That's such a weird thing, though. That does happen to rats, though.
I've never heard about that.
Yeah. Well, because you grew up in Turkey where they have cats everywhere that eat all the rats.
Yeah.
But if you talk to a real New Yorker, they're going to tell you, like, yo, that happened to me yesterday.
I'm so happy with our cats. I think I've seen, like, rat one time.
Dog, I saw a rat one time when I was in Asia. It freaked me the fuck out because it was huge, bro. Like, they really are scary as hell. Like,
I can't imagine living around, like, sort of seeing it everywhere.
Okay, what would you rather have? A house, beautiful house, your dream house, but you have rats sometimes, maybe twice a year. One rat, like one giant rat.
Okay.
Or roaches most of the time.
I can't get any help. Like, where am I living?
Now, you can do whatever you can to try to stop either one, but you got to pick. Like, rats sometimes, like you get 2 rats a year minimum.
Minimum?
8 maximum.
8?
You can get a cat.
That's like once a month.
You can get a cat. Or you get roaches most of the time.
I'll take the rats and probably get the house, like, I don't know.
Traps.
Yeah.
A bunch of traps.
No, not traps. Like, have someone come and spray gas all over the house.
That's crazy. Yeah,
what am I supposed to do? Live with rats?
Sorry, we went off topic.
Well, you?
I grew up with roaches in Louisiana. We grew up like seeing them, so I feel like I could deal with it. They freak me out, but I'm scared of like a rat crawling on you like at the night. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like a fucking rat. But I'm sorry, we got off topic for real. Anyway, so moving forward in the story, Millie, they bought this house out in the middle of nowhere. And so she's now like a public school teacher, and she meets like this other guy who's like a public school teacher there, and he's been there for some time. And he comes across as like kind of cool and understanding and like trying to help her out, like trying to adjust to this new environment. But he can also kind of tell that she's having some like issues in her personal life, like in her relationship with her dude. So what did you think of, those interactions?
I mean, I thought, of course, there's a reason they introduce us to this like character and they're having a whole conversation for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was suspicious of him. Like, what is he going to do? Is he going to be part of the horror that is coming? Yeah. So I definitely had the suspicion. So it wasn't really, anything special.
Oh, speaking of this reminds me, like, the film sort of really opens up with this scene of, I believe it was some dog that fell down into like a well or something like that. And like some family is like looking for their dog. And they find the dog in this hole in the ground in the middle of nowhere town where this film takes place. And they take the dog back into the house with the other dog that didn't fall into the hole. And then the father wakes up in the middle of the night because he hears the dog like screaming or something like that. And he sees the dog, and both of the dogs are now like mutated together. And it's like a very brief thing. And that's sort of like what you see throughout the film, like these brief shots that are supposed to like make you say, what did I just see? What was that? Stuff like that. Yeah, and so just reminding me of that scene, I was thinking, okay, that guy's going to be connected because he says, oh, I grew up in this town. I know everything about it. So that's what I was thinking when I saw this guy.
Okay. Yeah. So you thought maybe he was in that family or had a connection?
Yeah, had a connection and knew about the freaky shit that goes down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I tell you all the time, like in small town America, all there is to do is like hump on each other. You know what I mean?
And form cults, I guess.
Form cults and then have sex. You know what I mean?
Have sex cults.
Every sex cult, like in Tyler Perry's Ruthless, they're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You never see them in Chicago.
Wow. Life is too boring. So let's start a sex cult.
Let's start a sex cult. Town of 5,000. Anyway, moving forward. Guess who falls in the hole? Who saw that coming? Anyway.
White couple goes for a walk.
White couple goes for a walk. I forgot exactly what happened. I don't know if they were fighting or something, but yeah, they go out into the woods.
No, they weren't. They just go out, and then it starts to rain, and that's when they start kind of fighting.
Yeah, because they're like, how to get back home, maybe they're lost or something like that.
Yeah, their phones are not working, and they see like these bells around the forest.
Yeah, and I think Tim like was pulling on some rope, and Millie was telling him no or something like that.
Yeah, and Tim falls down.
Yeah, dumbass Tim.
Millie was trying to save him, but he pulls her with him.
Yeah.
And they both end up.
Most of the time, I'm like, oh, Tim. Like, that's the thing about this film that makes it, like, annoying. It's like when characters make stupid choices and stupid decisions and say stupid shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, Tim does a lot of that. throughout the film. And so, yeah, they fall down into the hole that we saw at the beginning of the movie that the dog fell down. And they end up, like, camping there the entire night. It has to be, like, the whitest thing I've ever heard of. But also sort of, like, understandable, too.
And no, I was so pissed. I was like, why aren't you getting out?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
You can literally get out from here right now.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it was raining, but it wasn't like, there isn't a flood.
Yeah.
You know, you can still climb up, or at least try.
Yeah.
And they were just like, they fell down and they were like, let's stay here.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Let's sleep in a hole in the ground, which I know we're crawling with rats and roaches. Like, of course, something like that would be in there.
And
I
we're
could
wet
never.
and cold, so let's just
Sleep
light
there.
a fire, because that's easier than climbing.
Than climbing up, yeah. But anyway, also in the little, hole in the ground, there's like this pond of water, and like Tim picks it up and starts drinking it. And I think he only drinks it at first. She doesn't drink it, but Tim is like drinking the stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, that's what happens.
Yeah, and then he gives it to her.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And by the way, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say how much I hated Tim because like the way he's so indecisive about his feelings is very frustrating, because I was like, just make a decision if you actually love this woman or not, or if you want to be here or not. Yeah, because like the underlying fight that they're having is like Tim is about to go and be with his boys on the road with this little tour, and like he's like saying like, no, I really do want to be with you. I want to stay. And like Millie's like, okay, Tim, it's okay. And he's like, I don't want you to feel bad that I'm going to go. You know what I mean? One of those. But he's also like constantly avoiding her. Like we can sort of, I think they allude to the fact that their sex life is not that good, or they hadn't had sex for like 6 months or something. Yeah, she said that at the beginning, like they hadn't had sex in a while. So, obviously he's like not affectionate with her, but he doesn't also leave her, which is so frustrating. Here's the point where we could probably say like what could make the film better. And I think, number one, they could have made them a couple that you sort of like root for, instead of the entire time screaming at the screen like, Millie, leave that broke boy. Yeah. Like, number one, make them have sex like one time at least. Like, at least at the beginning, Millie could have said, well, the sex is good. You know what I mean? Like something that makes you be like, okay, what does she like about this guy? Yeah. And also maybe make Tim be like a guy who's almost famous. You know what I mean? Like he's almost there. So that would give you a reason to say, okay, maybe he is torn between his career and his girl. Yeah. But in this film, it's like, dude, like you're playing at like Starbucks poetry night. You know what I mean? Like you're doing open mics at like bars across New Orleans. Like, what are you doing? I agree. And especially like that's why the ending was so frustrating for me. But we'll get to that at the end. One more thing I had to say. When they fell into the hole, that's when I was like, okay, this is so ChatGPT, bro. Like this is like literally prompt. Give me a horror movie and what could make people. So they fall into a hole. Here you go. Here's a solid plot for a good horror film. Like, no, this is really shitty. Anyway, I forgot. Yeah, they're sitting in the hole having a fire. Yeah, go ahead. And basically, I think Millie takes out a joint and they start smoking the joint. Okay. And Tim starts to tell this story from his childhood. Yeah. Where like there was this smell in his room and his dad told him to clean it, and he cleaned it like multiple times. He didn't know where the smell was coming from. And I think one day he finally discovered it was like these rats on his light, just like in the house before. And every time he opened the light, he was slowly cooking them, which is absolutely gross. Yeah. And then, like, he goes on to, like, I think his mother died, but his mother also died and then stayed in the house, so he smelled her too. Yeah. And he opened the door one day, and his mother was just smiling and dead and smelly. Gross. And, it's just, like, this whole childhood trauma that he has. Gives us. That scene was kind of okay, kind of cool. I guess, Tim is a conflicted character because also something else in the film, Tim takes drugs all the time. He's on these like psychoactive, like I guess antidepressants or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the film was trying to say with that, like with Tim constantly using drugs, because the drugs become a part of the film later. But I think also, those stories he tells highlights, whatever issues he has, why he takes drugs. Yeah, but the movie never goes deep enough to explore it. Like, what was wrong with his mother, or what did he inherit from his mother? Like, what was his actual mental issue? Yeah. How did he feel about it? et cetera, et cetera. It's like, I don't know. Does he have abandonment issues? Like, we don't know because that's never really explored. We are just giving like this, flashback, and then we're like, do what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah, I guess maybe tying it back to the title together, maybe Tim feels like abandoned, or like, it's hard for maybe him to attach because the only memory he talks about his father is like his father just being like domineering over him, and his mother, dying tragically. Yeah. And so maybe that relates to his weirdness with Millie, why he can't get close to her.
Yeah. So I wish they explored that more, just so we can get more into like the character's psyche. And also, in addition to that, we literally don't know anything about Millie's past. Yeah. Or like, why is she the way she is? Yeah. Not that she's that problematic.
But moving forward, when they wake up the next morning in the little hole in the ground that they slept in, like they're kind of stuck together. Like it's hard for their legs to separate, as you can see on screen. It's like super glue was put in between them, and they're like, oh, I guess it was mildew. Yeah, it was mildew. GPT-4 was the word. GPT-5 is bad. See, don't anybody worry about AI taking your jobs. AI cannot write movies yet. It can't write movies. It can't give us good dialogue or plot setup. No, this was really shitty. Any comment?
This was just dumb. I don't know how you first look past over this, just saying, I guess it's mildew, but we have a freaking scar on our legs from being stuck together. Yeah. It was just like frustrating to see them be this dumb and blind.
Well, moving forward in the film, Millie is like going to work, and then Tim, he starts feeling weird, and he crashes out in the shower because his girl is leaving at the same time he's in the shower. And so when she's in the driveway, his face moves in the same direction. And then when she drives off, he has a seizure and he just collapses on the floor. And I think also some other stuff happened too, when he's late night in his little computer room working on songs and stuff like that. Yeah. When his girl leaves, he feels weird. Maybe his nose starts bleeding, stuff like that. Weird stuff like that starts happening. So I don't know. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, I think at this point, we got the idea that he was feeling sick or whatever when Millie left. Mm-hmm. So, and also by the time they were stick together in the leg, I was like, okay, I think they're going to be inseparable in some way, Yeah. And it will make them sick. Yeah.
I mean, the film, there's nothing wrong with the horror film, sort of letting it be known, where it's going. You know what I mean? And what the horror is. Mm-hmm. Because the film does that from the very beginning with the dog that fused together, right? I just feel with the film where it's so obvious what's going to happen, more could have been done to, build up and, show the depth of the characters and explore the theme of separation, togetherness, needing somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know maybe some people might, write a think piece or analyze this film and talk about this film is talking about relationships and how deep down inside men and women need each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I felt like it was still done very surface level. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was thinking, also later in the movie, there are these long scenes of them sort of having physical pain. Mm-hmm. This scene with the shower scene. Yeah. We see it happening for 10 minutes on the screen and I'm like, oh, when is he gonna die? And I wish I like that that they're doing these kind of scenes, but I wish they put a flashback or something that's going in the character's mind. Yeah. So that we can, I don't know, philosophize about it a bit more or get a closer look.
Or just more dialogue, because the great irony of Tim is he ends up needing to be near Millie when only a few scenes ago he was very distant and cold with her. And that's that's a kind of a really cool setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, show the first time they met or some argument they had or maybe his memory with his mom. Yeah. I don't know. I wish there was not just him struggling in the bathroom for 10 minutes, but just something a bit more to give us a bit more insight.
Yeah. But I do want to give a shout out to James Franco to do the body acting. I don't know if he had a body double. I didn't check the credits, but I'll just say this. Let's say he did the body acting, which I think is cool. You know what I mean? Remember in in a Wolf of Wall Street when Leo DiCaprio did like the sliding down the stairs like he was on Quaaludes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like body acting takes a lot of talent. You know what I mean?
I think he was on Quaaludes.
You think Leo? That's not unbelievable. Yeah, Martin Scorsese's like, I still got him from the 80s, baby. Like, and he gets Leo and he's like, yeah, I'm in the hole. I can see that. Okay. Anyway, moving forward. There's also this other couple. I think that's how the film really started. So sorry, my memory's off. We watched this like 3 weeks ago. Anyway, this couple was the one that was like missing in the town at the beginning, and people went looking for them and they couldn't find them. And that's when the search dog went into the hole to drink the water and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I believe Tim becomes like obsessed with this couple because like their Facebook post was them hiking in the same spot. And he's like, trying to find out what they were doing. So
yeah, exactly. And like they also, I think he shows Millie like this happened or something. And then they kind of make an insight, like they kind of make it into a joke. Like, oh, this is their last Facebook post. That's kind of cheesy. Yeah. And then they also post on their Facebook page like we finally made the jump or something. And they're kind of discussing it. Oh, if this was our last post, it would be hilarious. And so it's kind of like ironic at the end of the movie. I guess.
I think the Facebook thing really shows like this is older millennial shit. Like this film, even though it's like Gen Alpha and Gen Z coded, it is still a very older millennial film. You know what I mean? Because they're posting on Facebook, my guy. Anyway.
Who does that?
Anyway, I forgot what happened here.
So
did we skip ahead? Did we skip the school scene?
No.
Okay, sorry.
But basically this is like the principal of the school or the head teacher that Millie works in, and one day he just shows up at the door and they invite him for a dinner and they start talking about like this cult that was in the town or something. He starts telling them about the myth of this cult, and there were some people, they committed mass suicide in the cave. Oh, God. And Tim is also like questioning him about what he found on the internet about this couple. And like he's just giving some information. But there's also like tension between Millie and Tim at the dinner. And the teachers had, this guy's name is Jamie. And Jamie is also like a bit weirded out like by this couple who are passive aggressive in front of them.
Yeah. Because they can't stop fighting. There's like never one scene like between Tim and Millie where they're just like cool, where it's like a couple that you want to be around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would want to be around them, you and I, just so that we could talk shit about them later. Like how much they fought.
Yeah. And to me, it felt like a bit. Jamie was also interested in Millie. Like he was a bit.
You felt like he was coming
giving
on.
a vibe, like not explicitly, but
Yeah, I would say the guy who played him, what's his name, Damon Harriman? Yeah, he was actually the best actor in this thing. He definitely was like
he was okay.
Yeah,
compared to
like he did bare minimum good acting in this thing. Like one thing about Alison Brie that I don't like, and I liked her in Glow because that was when I was first introduced to her. This Netflix series that was canceled after 3 seasons about female wrestlers. I like her like sunny, like, like a very happy, like first grade teacher, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who gives you great memories when you're like 27 and you're working at McDonald's, like, oh, Miss Brie was the shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, like she has like this just cheeriness to her that I feel like is like, didn't fit the film. You know what I mean? Like it's just very happy. Like she always talks to you like you're a lost puppy or a very cute baby.
Okay. So she's not really like fitting with the horror genre?
Yeah, like just
this movie.
Like her her facial expressions and vocal tones, it feels a bit too happy. You know what I mean? Okay. A bit too sunny for me. I don't know. You might disagree.
I mean, not specifically. I don't think her like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't like the first impression I got, but I can see it. Like when you describe it, I can see that's how you might feel. I didn't think I thought she was okay. Yeah. In the movie, worse was Dave.
Okay. But anyway, moving on. So after the guy leaves, they start fighting again.
Of course.
And I'm pretty sure Jamie was outside the door like this with his ear up, like just listening to them struggle, but.
Yeah, I mean, basically Tim, says, oh, like, this guy likes you. And Millie's like, what? No. And I think he makes an advance at her, and then he feels weird or sick or something coming on to him. Then he pulls back, and then Millie gets mad and says this. That's on the screen.
Tim, God, if you don't want to fuck me, Tim, just say it. God, it's just the way the lines were delivered. That was...
I mean, like, he was frustrating before, and now that he's under this curse or whatever, he's even more frustrating because there's no explanation.
Yeah, and I believe also they have a kiss, and I think when they have that kiss, their lips kind of get stuck, and she's like, you bit me or something like that?
Yeah,
and I think she was like, Tim, you're acting weird or something like that.
Yeah.
So she's not getting it that, there's something different now. But yeah, this was the part when DeepSeek took over the writing and like, because what is this, Tim, God? If you don't want to fuck me, Tim, just say, like, I don't think in Chinese they have pronouns like that. So this is like a direct translation, bro. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, there's like another scene when Tim is like in bed and he's choking because like he has her hair in his mouth because they're like, slowly morphing together. So then he ends up pulling out all her hair before he can like suffocate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So little body horror there. What'd you think?
I mean, I thought this scene was kind of unnecessary because what happened? I don't know what happened. What was the point of this actually? Like, I think like until this point we get that he's like becoming attached to her physically and he's feeling something physically by the way like they're constantly, connecting to each other. I don't know why this was necessary. Yeah. Because it made it look like Millie is just like very ignoring everything. Because how could this not freak you out?
Yeah, but you think Millie's just the type of girl to believe, okay, you drink magic special water and now you want to eat my hair and morph into me?
No,
like,
but
you would, that.
Yeah, but you would ask, like, if I woke up, you, like, constantly pulling my hair from your mouth, I'm going to be like, what the hell? Like, what demon got into you?
I'm going to be like you. I'm joking. But
I didn't like this. I mean, I liked it. It was okay, but it's just, I thought it was unnecessary.
I was just like, when is this film going to end, man? I was like, oh, man, this is just really silly. It's just cringe seeing body horror done in American cinema. You know how you feel like, watching Turkish cinema is kind of cringe sometimes? This is how I feel about our cinema now. Our country has fallen, bruh. Like, we used to watch American movies and be like, yeah, at least we got that. Yeah, we got good. Goddamn, these movies suck now. Anyway, so basically Millie goes to school one day to go to work, and Tim, I believe, got left at the train station to go be with the band because that was the day he was supposed to leave. And Millie's like, okay, see you later. And he's like, bye, I'm going to miss you so much. And she's like, yeah, whatever. And she drives off. But then he stands there at the train station. He starts shaking and he can't, deal with her being away. So then when she's at school, like doing her job and stuff like that, she looks out the window and she sees Tim like standing outside, like just like a weirdo.
Zombie.
Yeah, like a whole zombie. Yeah, like a whole crackhead just outside the window. So she like goes up to him and it's like, Tim, are you okay? And he starts like kissing on her and like making out with her. And then they have sex in the little boy's bathroom, like near the playground. And like, it's really kind of hot and stuff like that. And she's into it. And then he busts in like 2 minutes because it's been 6 months. And then when he's done, she's like, okay, get out. And he's like, I can't. And they're stuck. And how they get disconnected, I'm not exactly sure.
They just rip it.
Yeah, but wouldn't that hurt her?
Yeah, she started bleeding after they ripped it.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's really crazy.
But anyway, like they're trying to separate from each other, and then this little boy walks in, and she's like, shh, don't say anything. And then the boy walks out, and they're trying to separate, and I think that's when also the principal comes in, the guy that had dinner with them, and they have to like basically rip their genitals away from each other. Yeah,
and she goes out and talks to him, and she makes it seem like, oh, I'm on my period. I had my period on accident because blood is like running down her leg. And he says, at least use the girls' bathroom next time. Yeah. And so like she leaves, and then he sees that the foot of Tim is in there too. So he sort of knows what happened, but he's trying to like cover. But he also knows way more than, they know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
anyway, that was probably like the highlight of the film, I guess. That was like the most interesting, because everybody was wondering, like, okay, if they fuck now, like, are they going to get stuck? Yeah. Everybody was thinking that. And I kind of liked that the film went there. You even got to see Dave Franco's little shaft, like inside Alison Brie, I guess, which was
not that much of a close up. We
just
saw his dick.
It was a whole shaft, like the shaft was inside the cooch. It was really.
We saw his dick. What do you mean inside?
I don't think you saw.
It wasn't like a POV porn, like the way you say it.
The angle was very POV.
Okay.
Anyway, that was one of the better scenes, I would say.
Yeah, I like the sort of intenseness of that scene. It definitely like hurt me, as I was watching it. I was like, oh my God, what are they gonna do now? Because this part of the gore, I guess, or whatever you can call it, I liked it. Yeah,
there was also one other scene too that I think was cool, but we'll talk about that later, I guess. This scene right here, tell us what happened.
So like Millie goes back home. She's very mad at Tim, and they sort of have this argument. And Millie's like, "Why are you so weird, like acting strange?" And then she goes over to the teacher's house, Jamie's house, to sort of apologize or clear up the situation. And when she goes there, they start conversation. He tells him about his brother. I think that was dead. That is dead. And he also tells about like this, myth that Zeus created everyone with like 2 heads and 4 hands and 4 legs and stuff. But the humans were too powerful, so Zeus separated them. And I think that's kind of like the idea of the movie, or later on,
origins,
we'll find
or at
out.
least the origins of the cult, because I believe also, like, he's sort of hinting at the fact that he was a part of the secret sex cult that was in the town way back. You know what I mean? At least for the audience, you start to put 2 and 2 together. Okay, if he knows all of this stuff, he was definitely a part of that group. And I found that kind of funny because when I was a little kid, I read these like, philosophy books for children. And there was like this one book about this story. Really? I never heard this Greek myth before. The Greeks were freaky. They had all sorts of myths.
And I actually, like, in that book, they had pictures, and they actually had a picture with like 2 heads and 4 hands and
That's
all
crazy.
of that. And, but it was like this funny, comical philosophy for kids. And I never actually like took it as something, scary.
You didn't want to join a cult?
No.
To find your other half so you get your forearms back?
No. It was told as a myth, which it is. Like, Zeus is not real, so,
Okay. But that's crazy, because if that's true, then that means every human, at least every, like, heteronormative human, is a hermaphrodite, because you're born with a penis and a vagina. And you're going to look for your penis or your vagina when you're trying to find your soulmate.
I guess, yes.
But if you're gay, that means you had 2 dicks when you were born, but you were separated.
Wow. I think it's just like the story told just so you can believe there's only one person out there for you.
Okay, I'm just saying I'd rather have 2 dicks than be a hermaphrodite, though.
Okay. You don't have to be homophobic.
That's not homophobic.
We're all multiple genders. Like, all of us have some masculinity and some femininity.
I mean, we're all born as women, and then we become men.
Yeah.
Literally, like XX.
Yeah.
Genetically. But still, I'm just saying the story makes me want to be gay.
What? That's ridiculous.
Anyway, I forgot what happens here. In this part of the film, I think Millie is like trying to fuse with him, and then he has to like slap her to like wake her up.
Yeah.
Because she's like trying to like, join with him. Now she's infected with the. I think that's because they had sex, and he put that nut in her.
Wow. No, I think like she also drinks the water right in the cave, but she drinks it later than him. So
Really?
Maybe hers is like now uploading into her system. I don't know. But she basically starts feeling the curse or whatever it is. And Tim was like on his computer desk researching the couple again, and it was like a jump scare. Like, she starts knocking on the glass door with her head, and he lets her in, and she starts like trying to join him or like hug him or whatever, and then he slaps her.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about that as a woman to see a man slap?
No, that was necessary.
That was
the
necessary.
Bitch was crazy.
Okay, that's crazy. Anyway, this was probably the second coolest scene, I would say, because they both realize that now they're fusing together, so they have to separate. So she sleeps in another room, he sleeps in another room, but then at night, their bodies just magically like get up and like rush across the hall to like try to fuse, and they're like trying to hold on to the door, hold on to like handles and stuff to stop it, and their hands sort of like begin to fuse, but then Tim reaches for his drugs and he reaches for his pain relaxers,
muscle relaxers,
muscle relaxers, whatever. So he takes some, she takes some, and their muscles start to, you know, relax and stuff like that. But I still think they were fused a little bit, so then they had to go grab like a chainsaw.
Yeah, which is in the next part.
Yeah, and so she had to... So Millie becomes like a badass, and it's like, this part was actually kind of funny because, because like she does it, like she really cuts them apart with that, which is kind of wild. But what do you think of those scenes?
Yeah, I also enjoyed the fusing parts. At first, like, Millie doesn't believe Tim, but then Tim says, like, don't move, and then she can't move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. I like how it was shot sort of like back and forth and like them struggling. But then again, I'm going back to this point, like, we see them trying to not fuse into each other for like 15 minutes on the screen. And I'm like, okay, like either be together or like, I don't know, somebody die or whatever. Like I wanted like some flashback, something there, I guess, maybe about their relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. And there is, I think, a bit of a humor to their dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, at least in those things, like, this is when it becomes a bit humorous. I think there's a part where she's like, you know, I'm not trying to hurt you on purpose. And he's like, just do it, and something like that. And so, yeah, it's kind of, there is a bit of humor in those scenes. But I'm like, if this is going to be a body horror film, then, like, just fucking show the arm getting sawed off. You know what I mean? Like, just go for it. You know what I mean? If you're going to do the jump scares, show us Alison Brie putting a chainsaw to her flesh. Like, fucking, let's go.
Mean, they basically show us, like, it's about to do it, and then we see them, like, on the kitchen floor eating something all bloody.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. But moving forward in the story, you know, Millie goes back to the house of the teacher. And she's like going to ask him, like, what do you know about this thing? You know, I think it's happening to me. There's something weird happening with me.
No. She goes into his house because he calls for her. And then she walks into this room where there's like this old footage is playing of the cult.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, they're like these two boys and they cut themselves and they're like ingrained into each other. And then the creepy guy comes in.
Yeah. And he starts, And he starts telling her, he's still a part of the cult, apparently. I guess he's the last remaining member or something like that. But, like, he's telling her, you know, what's about to happen with you and Tim is the ultimate intimacy in divine flesh. You will become one and you will never be alone again and stuff like that.
He's kind of like, you know, that delusional villain. Like, he's like, this is the best, you know, you're going to love it.
Yeah, and apparently he joined with his boyfriend, or I guess his fiance, who was a man. You know what I mean? And I believe there was a scene earlier when Millie walks into the house and she's like, oh, what happened to your partner? And he's like, he never left me or something like that.
That was his brother. He's not gay.
That was not his brother. No, it was his.
No?
No.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter? No, it doesn't matter. Because even though we're like breaking down the story, it was still booty. It was still really booty. And so I believe she like attacks him and knocks him down?
Yeah, like he tries to get her and then she sort of escapes, you know, hits him. Yeah. And at the same time...
I think when she hit him, like his face turned and twisted because then it revealed that it was two faces, I think. Like she slaps him and then there's like two faces that come around like, ah!
I think you might be remembering because while Millie is here, we get like a back and forth footage of Tim. Yeah. Because Millie says to Tim, don't do anything stupid. And of course, what does Tim do? He goes down to the cave. Yeah. And while he's there, he's also getting attacked by this like concussion of a human being. Yeah. Of like the two people fused in together, but it's like really failed.
Shitty. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you're remembering that.
Yeah. It was, if you ever saw that film with Demi Moore, The Substance, and how she turned into like a monster at the end.
Yeah.
Sue makes a cameo. So for anybody who's seen The Substance, if you love Sue and what happened to Sue, you'll see Sue here. She makes her second film appearance. She's doing really well. She's going up. She's going places. That's Sue, I tell you.
Yeah. Anyway, it was kind of gross. Like, there's this creature there, and in a way, they both realize what's going to happen to them, or they both like have the lightning.
Yeah. So moving forward in the film, Tim is seeing the evil monster, stuff like that, and I believe what's her name? She got cut or something like that. Yeah. She the evil guy cuts her, and when they finally see each other, they're like, there's only one way we can solve this. And Tim also has a knife in his back, and he wants to kill himself so that she can be free. But he doesn't know she's already wounded and she's dying. Kind of tragic.
Yeah. So she ends up dying, or stuff like that, and Tim doesn't kill himself, obviously.
Yeah. Well, she didn't die.
Well, yeah.
We
think she's dying.
Yeah. So then they decide, to turn on some slow R&B, some Marvin Gaye.
Spice Girls.
Yeah, Spice Girls. It is a Spice Girls song, actually. Yeah. And they get naked in the living room and start making love.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the creepiest scene, kind of with bad CGI. I remember it as being bad CGI for me.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Like the scenes where their eyes are eyelashes are going into each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was very creepy
and
well done in terms of CGI. But yeah, this is kind of like the only way Tim could have saved Millie, and he did.
This scene reminded me, I don't know if y'all know, there used to be these pudding cups that used to have chocolate, vanilla, and then chocolate in the middle. At the bottom. And what I would do, I would take the chocolate and the vanilla top and mix it together. That's what that scene reminded me of, mixing the two puddings. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like to me.
That's a hilarious analogy.
I'm sorry. That's just it's just reminded me of that. It reminded me of that. But anyway, so yeah, they basically make love and they form into one fusion thing. And they sort of end up looking like this cocoon thing at the middle.
Yeah.
And so the film ends with Millie's parents coming over, and the new Mim.
No. Timely.
And it's such a weird, deep seek, I don't know, mid-journey, ChatGPT, what would our babies look like? This is what, and the way they answer, the voice of the character is a mix between Dave Franco's mid baritone and Alison Brie's high pitch, and it says, "Hey."
Yeah, it was so weird.
He says, "Hey." I was like,
hey.
"Oh, that was."
It sounded like a seagull.
Yeah. I was like, I wanted to throw up and I wanted to kick my TV screen when I saw this shit. I was so mad, and the film has just a lackluster ending, and I feel like I got nothing from it, and hours and minutes were taken from me.
Yeah. It didn't really give us something to think about or sustainable. Yes, there's this theme of being too close with your partner and fusing into one person, not literally, but I guess emotionally, personality wise. But the movie didn't make any comments about it. The movie basically said, yes, you should fuse into your partner and lose all your personality because that's the true love. And that's the only way it will work out. This camera is racist. I've been here the whole time, and you're going.
I know,
away.
right? I know,
anyway,
right? That's very true. That's very
but
true.
yeah, and also the thing I hate so much about the ending was that Tim hated Millie. Come on, he did not want to be with her. She was getting frustrated with him, and somehow at the end he was like, I love you so much that I'll become this weird AI one person with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, what made you change your mind?
I feel bad for Millie because now she has a permanent man-child in her. You know what I mean?
It was literally the true embodiment of settling.
Wow, this film should have been called He's Good Enough.
Yeah, this movie should have been called like "How Did I Settle?"
How I settled, exactly. Like, yeah. This is that's the horror of the film. The real horror is that Millie sort of settled for Tim.
I guess, like, but it's just like what I made out of it.
Yeah,
like
I got nothing from this other than like if more films incorporate this type of sloppy writing and minimal themes but full aesthetics, because this film feels like full vibe, full aesthetics, less substance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it feels like also related to The Substance, another film, you know, that we reviewed that felt empty as well and very superficial, but it also seemed like Hollywood and the media and critics loved it. You know what I mean? So I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid or the pond water.
Yeah.
I'm not with it. I give this film like a solid 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, this is like the kind of movie like you would watch with a group of hipster friends and then everyone would say, dude, that was so cool.
Yeah. But
or
they would
like,
say that in like 2008. Like if this film was 2008, everybody would be.
Say it online.
That's so crazy because this film was like 20 years behind as far as like.
Or it's a good, like, I would say if your girl or your guy friend, your boyfriend is into like horror, it's a good Netflix and chill movie.
I don't even think it's Netflix and chill because you're like, I don't want to fuck. We might get stuck.
That is kind of true.
Yeah, like,
but it's a good like date night movie, I guess. I don't know because it's like kind of empty. You know, you don't think about it that much.
Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of this slop tent is like meant to be just put on in the background while you're really on your phone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
oh, okay, they're together now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tweet about
true.
how much I love this movie.
So
I give it a solid 4. You know, it feels sloppy. It feels empty. It feels just AI. You know?
Yeah.
That's my thing.
It did feel very AI.
So.
I think I'm gonna give it like a 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like kind of didn't get anything out of it, but it was still kind of entertaining, I guess. Like, it's like the kind of film that you love to hate watch.
I guess so.
And I can appreciate that. So yeah.
I mean, we kind of forgot about this film after we watched it, and I was like, okay, we got to review some of the films that we've been watching. It was like, oh yeah, that one. I forgot that. That's that thing. So, but yeah, better luck next time, Alison, Brie, and Dave Franco. I think y'all could do like another solid one. You know what I mean? Just just do a rom-dram. Do straight rom-dram.
Yeah. I guess they are both kind of like comedy stars.
Yeah, no, but no rom-com. Let's see them acting chops. You know what I mean? Let's see Alison Brie actually do something serious. I know she has an extensive filmography. I just haven't seen her in something serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's see something like that. But that's all I got to say.
Same.
All right. So that was Together. We watched it, so you didn't have to. But check out some more films that we're going to be reviewing. Hopefully you like this new format that we're trying out here. And let us know if there are any other films you think we should review. Put them in the comments. And peace.